Janthir Wilds just released from Guild Wars 2 as its first expansion post Secrets of the Obscure. Guild Wars 2 was without a doubt one of my favorite MMOs, and I felt that I needed to at least give it the good college try. What I didn't expect is that it was going to be one of the most polished landings that I've had in a storied MMO in a really long time. Seriously, it had so much to offer so quickly. It was just very well done, and here's what happened. Also, as a note, in this series, I will be playing through the main story of Janthir Wilds, and thus there will be story spoilers. You have been warned. So since I haven't played Guild Wars 2 in quite a while, I decided that I would jump into the game with something a little bit different. One of the classes that I have always loved is my Mirage, the elite specialization for the Mesmer. Playing through the story with him feels like it will be a fresh start, you know? That's kind of what I'm going for here. Well, we get a summons to the Grove to talk to Firstborn Dagonet, who is basically an emissary. He's been in Kryta for a very long time. Firstborns, by the way, are the very first Sylvari ever to be born. Basically, Sylvari are born as full adults, fully formed and ready to pay taxes and complain about their 9-to-5s. And the Firstborn are just very highly respected, as they were, of course, the first. Well, Uber Danger here then sends us to Lion's Arch for a giant meeting of the Tyrian Alliance. Basically, after all the crap that Tyria has gone through, now they say, you know what, we should probably join together as an alliance. Of course, the problem here being is that we literally have done all the work as the commander or the wayfinder, defeating elder dragons, containing Charybdis threats, and all the other shenanigans that we get into, but sure, now let's join together as friends. We get to catch up with all the major parties here. Basically, every race has sent diplomats and representatives to meet, so it's kind of a big deal. Lots of well-respected characters throughout all of our stories here in this game, except for Bram. I hate this man. And if you know, you know. After checking in with everyone, we are asking about Cantha and the Assuran technologies, the trial of Bangar, and everyone is really just recovering from the Elder Dragon's crap. Like I get it, but in my head, canonically, all the Elder Dragon shenanigans happened over the course of about a month. Just a lot of stuff went down really quickly, and we're all just hanging in there. Well, they start talking about the demon invasions, and then comes in our big bad boy, Isgarin. Isgarin is basically the smartest man in the room, and he makes you know that he is better than you. He's like an Azura, but taller. They explain the situation with the Cryptus and who the Astral Wards are and how they play their role in all these shenanigans, which causes everyone to be like really nervous. And to be fair, what's more nerve-wracking than a 20-foot tall alien with 4 arms? Well, we get the objective to go off and make it a connection with the Lowland Coden in the Janthir Wilds. Let's make some more allies. We need more allies for the coming fight, which apparently is essentially a giant dinner bell has been rang across the cosmos, and Tyria is the first thing on the plate. And let me just say that really quickly, this is incredible for any new players to get caught up on the story in almost an instant. It's like 20 minutes of asking around and boom, you immediately know what's going on to a degree, so you're not really lost moving into Janthir Wilds. So we hop into a way portal from Divinity's Reach, and we get to check in with the Astral Ward here with their floating Dalaran Island. And I'm serious, you can't look at that and tell me that isn't Dalaran from World of Warcraft. Well, we talk to Frode the Broad, and immediately we sniff out that the Astral Ward wants something else of us. There's no way that they suggested for us to just hang out here and make friends with the Janthir Wild Coden.
All the bare necessities.
They are after someone called Waiting Sorrow, a Coden wizard who is now suspected of hiding amongst the Lowland Coden here in the wilds. She created the Heart of the Obscure from the Secrets of the Obscure expansion, but disappeared upon strange terms. But here they are saying, hey, you know what, you solve every problem every time, so why don't you go find this bear wizard that's literally been missing since before you were born? Sure, why not? Add it to the list. Well, we go around and check out some of these various vantage points and get attacked by a bunch of random creatures, and I will absolutely say that I love how conditioned Mirage feels. Just numbers, dodges, evasion, it's so satisfying. Well, we get a call from aggressive creatures, and some help is needed by a mage. So we check through these openings and find claw marks and blood and footprints. Like we don't already know what happens. Someone is already dead and is probably already eaten by something big, hairy, and angry. Think like David Hasselhoff after he found that cheeseburger. Well, we see this little boy about to get eaten by this giant fluffy cat. Look how could you view this guy as aggressive? He's so damn adorable. Well, he actually is a champion level mob, so he starts smacking my face harder than Chris Rock. And he pops out large floor AoEs, dodges, evasion, fears, all sorts of stuff. But not gonna lie, the Mirage diving through the target really is no problem here. After some dancing, the Warclaw gets low on the HP, and then these random bears just show up from the wilds.
The bears.
And then throw me some meow mix to calm down the raging cat. And then this bear who tells me that only I can stop wildfires also tells me how to tame the cat for it to be trusted. Not gonna lie, I just love how so fluffy this big boy is. So yeah, I'm in. I'm on board. Let's go. Well, apparently the kitty cat has some issues with calming down because literally we have to kill it like 7 times, and no, that's not a joke. We keep having to throw friskies at it to stay calm, and eventually we make it to the Coden village. Then we see the opening scene for Janthir Wilds, and I'm not gonna lie, I really do like the aesthetic, you know? It's like Viking tribalistic bears. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Well, we put the cat into the cage and get a new Warclaw skin, except it's purple, like the girl from Willy Wonka. Well, we meet up with the Coden leader, and he introduces us to all the council members, and each one of them does something fairly important, but there's a lot of text, and I won't bore you all with it. You'll probably see what they do. And I know that these are like the respected leaders of the tribes, but all these guys are super fluffy. Like, if not friend, why friend shape? Really finding it challenging to take them seriously. Well, we get pawned off onto the son of the big bear leader who already feels like he's arrogant, like Winnie the Pooh with a pot of honey arrogant. Well, he tells us to look around, so I spend the next half hour exploring, working on this renowned heart. You know, your typical quest thing, but it's more about doing something different, really. Take in the scenery. I get to participate in a sparring match with Silent Locke, who literally is wrecking my face. Like, this dude is actually a challenge. He's putting on a clinic of how to do a lot of damage out really quickly. Well, that's the best part about large group events, you know, is just you're gonna get smacked around and you just kind of have to deal with it. So we meet up with Kaith and she's talking to some baby bears, and then the dad is like, hey, you should go talk to my training bear friend to learn how to use spears, which that's what I'm here for. I want to learn how to use a spear. I need to learn how to use a spear for all my characters. I've been begging for this weapon to finally come out, and here it is. However, for me to learn to use spears, I have to complete the first tier of the masteries. Whoa. So I do all sorts of manners of open world events, vista viewing, exploration, mob killing, poop grabbing, fish cleansing, mushroom eating, beast blighting, rift closing, hot tub rubbing shenanigans, so that I can get the experience to level the mastery for spears. Only to find out that it is actually more of a power weapon than condition damage. Well, you know what? We're just going to run a mix of power and Condi stats and call it a day. Not before I jump into the arena to challenge Spring-Hearted, who is a giant elementalist bear and is pumping out even more damage than Silent Locke. Not gonna lie though, the spear feels really good, and it's probably even better if you're more power damage focused, but overall I really like it. Also, I get nearly deleted by Yogi Bear here, but what would you expect? That was pretty cool. Okay, so jumping into Janthir, one thing that I have to say that is absolutely unbelievable is the new player experience. Seriously, in the short time I've played, I have learned about the history of the game to have a working knowledge of where we're at. Seriously, in the short time that I've played the game, if I were a new player, I would already have a working knowledge of the history of the game, where we are at, why we are here, a Warclaw mount as a starter mount, as well as a spear. In such a short amount of time, it is incredible. This is a huge win for anyone who's just coming into the game and looking for a way to get some account unlocks without really too much stress and time. Now, the story seems to be much more rooted in the past of Tyria, but does have a little bit of a tie-in with Secrets of the Obscure arc, of course, for the real reason that we are actually here in Janthir Wilds is to hunt down Waiting Sorrow. Now, I'm willing to guess to say that it's probably already someone that we've met, or someone that we're about to meet, perhaps a mentor for the leader's son. Poised Arrow is kind of a dork, in my opinion, but all in all, the landing experience for the expansion has been really well done. Bravo, ArenaNet. Despite me having most of the features unlocked already, it was a really good time. Now, I will be continuing this journey through the story of our Bare Necessity buds from the north in a unique new playlist. If you are new to the game of Guild Wars 2 and want to learn more about some of its features, check out this complete beginner's guide here. Otherwise, stay caffeinated, folks.